Hey, ladies and gents, and welcome back to another E3 conference discussion. We're tackling Bethesda now. I don't know why I said that so weird. Joining me as always, Bethesda, is Dom and Jordan. How's it going, guys?
Welcome to the wonderful world of Bethesda.
Bethesda. So let's start off with their first announcement, which is probably the biggest shocker. Quake Champions seems like their answer to the hero shooter in Quake form. PC exclusive, unlocked frame rates. Yeah, pretty much it. Wasn't the Quake game we expected to see. It's not the Wolfenstein treatment that the Wolfenstein obviously got from Machine Games, but it is a new Quake game, so got people excited. What do you guys think of Quake Champions, and does this have a chance to sell well?
So the other point to bring up, I don't know if you mentioned this or not, is that it's id making this game, correct?
Yeah, id Software, not Machine Games. Yep.
And not Machine Games, yeah. So that's, I think that's good because that means Machine Games is doing something else right now, which is cool because this Quake reboot isn't my cup of tea. It's cool, and I get why this exists and they made it, but
yeah, it just seems like Bethesda's answer to hero shooters. Like, hey,
right.
can you make a Quake Champions, a Quake game? If Doom is any indication, they still know how to make games that run really well. So, yeah. Do you think this game has legs, Jordan? Do you think it'll sell well? People love Quake.
I'm not so sure that it's a great idea to be a PC exclusive. I think you could be on all platforms and just say that the frame rates are unlocked on PC, and I don't really see any issue there. But that could hurt its legs. And then another note to make is the fact that, I think this does actually confirm that Machine Games, since they're not working on this game, they are working on Wolfenstein 2, which we even got the tease of the new Colossus is the name of that game.
On the DOS.
Yeah, on the DOS operating boot up. So, I think this does also confirm that game. So, it's nice to see it's not Machine Games because I don't know that this would necessarily be their forte.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing of I think a lot of people who love Quake are glad to see it back. I think that people wanted to see Quake in some form. A lot of people, I don't think this is necessarily the form, but if it is a Quake game that isn't a narrative shooter, I think people are glad it's not Machine Games, because how mad would people be if Machine Games took time from working on the next Wolfenstein to work on not a Quake game, but a Quake hero shooter-esque thing, That would have got people really mad.
Yeah, so do you think this is a full Quake game or not?
No, I think it's a hero shooter. I think it's a Overwatch-esque game where it's
a multiplayer only.
Yeah.
Huh.
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't think it's a fully fledged game, considering the fact that it's Quake Champions. That just in the name, it doesn't seem like it's they would have gone with a numbered thing or something.
Okay.
This is and there wasn't even a semicolon between the two. It was just Quake Champions is one thing for the title. Next up, we have Elder Scrolls Legends, which the biggest announcement from this for Dom is that it's coming to mobile.
Yes, it is.
Unlike Gwent, sadly, but Elder Scrolls Legends. Actually,
Gwent
funny thing is, before we were recording this, I was actually playing the beta, which I found out you can't talk about, so I messed up talking about it previously. It's a NDA.
Broken NDA, Jared.
Yeah,
untrustworthy.
I know, so I can't talk about it, but I was playing it before this. Cool to see it come to mobile. I think that's where card games thrive. Elder Scrolls Legends, not really much to say about that.
I kind of hope we get in trouble for breaking that NDA, because that would mean someone from Bethesda is listening to it.
Yeah, right. That was completely my bad. I didn't notice it after the fact. But, so Fallout add-ons. These were a pretty cool... It was a pretty small part of the conference, but it was pretty cool. They announced Nuka World, the contraptions. They announced that Fallout 4 is going to be VR compatible with Vive coming out in 2017. Not exclusive, but it's going to be with Vive next year. Also the Vault Tech, which I thought was the coolest add-on, to be able to make your own vault. The whole thing with Fallout is the vaults.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can... you don't have to go towards a PC mod that was made by somebody else. This is a Bethesda, made add-on mod. So Vault Tech, I think it's going to be really cool. The whole thing of running experiments. It's pretty cool. So the Fallout add-ons, did they do anything for you guys?
This kind of got me looking at Fallout 4.
That's awesome.
I think I might buy it.
You haven't played any of it, right?
No, I played Fallout 3. I never got really anywhere close to beating it, I would say, but enough to know that it wasn't really my game. And I think they've made enough changes with Fallout 4 and all this, now going to be 6 DLC packs, I guess.
Yeah.
It looks like they've done enough to get me interested, at least. Probably, down the road once it's much cheaper.
See, I think you might be one of those people that, based on what you just said, you will like the changes they made from 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Whereas I hated a lot of them.
Then again, didn't they take out a bunch of RPG elements? That would probably piss me off.
Yeah, and there's no karma system really. There's less dialogue options.
Actually, I'm not so sure about Fallout 4. There's so many things about Fallout 4. Like, that's the thing, is this DLC looks cool, and I like I like the way that they're treating it, and the way that they're connecting it to the Fallout world, with the Nuke World being an amusement park and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm gonna play Skyrim Remastered because I do enjoy the Elder Scrolls games more than Fallout, but just with the jankiness and stuff, there's a lot of stuff, like a lot of issues I have with Bethesda games. And I mean Bethesda Studios, the internal studio that they have, not the publisher. But Fallout. I'm on that fence always for Fallout because I see so many people talking about it. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want a janky game.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. Despite what I just said about I hate the things they changed.
Yeah.
I still love Fallout 4 so much, and I can't describe why. You know what I mean? It just has its hold over me.
Is that Nicky Valentino? He's a good guy.
Yeah, it's just a fun game. Like, I like the world. There is a jankiness to it. But like, so our next talking point is going to be the Skyrim remaster. For me, I loved Fallout 4. It's a fun time. The Skyrim remaster does literally absolutely nothing for me. It's been 5 years since Skyrim. I've put my time in. I don't feel like playing an up-resed version. It's like, it does nothing for me personally. It is smart though. I think that they're not calling it remaster and they're calling it Skyrim Special Edition.
Yeah,
I think that was a smart take on it.
You're definitely not the person this is for.
Oh yeah, this is for the people I think that didn't play Skyrim in the first place.
Yeah.
Or want to play
at
more.
At $60.
Yeah, and then the people on PC.
But that DLC is substantial, I would say.
Yeah, but also with the fact that people on PC that bought the Legendary Edition get it for free, that's kind of crazy to me.
That's why
they're not getting anything new, really. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, if I was one of those PC people, I'd be like, okay, sweet.
That's probably why they're giving it to them for free.
Yeah, it's
like
not
changing much. Yeah.
Yeah, because they know that they wouldn't buy it because these mods were available for Skyrim within a year of the game first releasing, and so yeah, PC players mostly probably already had this game with some added textures and lighting and all that kind of stuff. And it's weird that they're charging console players $60 for this, and yet still PC players get it for free. But
I mean,
I'm okay with that. I'm one of those people.
I mentioned on one of the Facebook groups that we're in that Odin Sphere Life-Rasser, however the fuck you say that last word, was a $60 remaster of a PS2 game. Nathan Drake Collection last year on PS4 was 3 PS3 games for $60. So these remaster prices are kind of all over the place. It's tough to gauge and tough to know where to feel okay. But I think Skyrim's right about there with $60. It's a last-gen game with a bunch of DLC added in. I think that's about right.
And plus, the amount of time you can put into this game,
exactly,
you'll definitely get your money's worth.
Yeah.
I think the thing with this is, if this was done internally, the remaster, which I'm pretty sure it was, I'm glad it's already going to be out because that means they can work on the new things they need to work on. I'm glad this came out as soon as possible because I just want them to work on, I want them to make Fallout 5 or Fallout whatever it is or Skyrim 6. Like, I want them to be a huge step forward. I love Bethesda games. I deal with the quirkiness and the issues they have, but I do want to see a leap forward. You know?
Fallout 4 was not that, so let's hope it's Elder Scrolls 6, I guess. Or I'm thinking it might be a different IP.
One other thing to point out for Skyrim Remastered is you can also install different mods on consoles now.
Yeah.
So Fallout 4, supposedly.
Yep. So the next thing here, we heard about the Fallout add-ons. We heard about Skyrim. Something new but not new. The Prey unveil, the Prey reboot from Arcane's second studio. Man, did this look amazing. It seems like a completely different take on Prey. Up until the last moment, I personally didn't know it was Prey. I don't know how other people felt. I did not know it was Prey. I like him talking to himself. something going on. There's a lot of psychological issues there with him. I thought the character looked very interesting. I just like the way they unveiled this game. I think it surprised a lot of people. What did Prey do for you guys?
Yeah, I was with you. I had no idea what it was till the end, right? But I think it looked amazing. Like this trailer was sweet. Or, I don't think there was any gameplay in there, was there?
Yeah,
It was mostly.
it did that thing where it made it look like gameplay, but it wasn't.
Right.
But I think it gave you a sense of what you're going to be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. Like I like the ideas of this guy's like in some kind of loop where like every
Yeah.
day is the same.
Yeah, he's putting
but then there's
something up
also-
to his eye, kind of like Cowboy
Yeah.
Bebop, making it turn red, and he's having like things kind of getting a little glitchy, I guess you could say.
Right.
And the thing that this got me excited for is if EA is not going to do anything with Dead Space, this looks like it could fill that void.
This was giving me some major BioShock and Dead Space vibes, boys, and
Yep.
those
Yep.
are some of my favorite franchises that are not happening right now. I really wish we had gotten a new BioShock this year at E3. Really wish we had gotten Dead Space 4, but that's not happening. So, Prey may be it for me. That's like I said, it kind of wasn't gameplay, but what they did show with him shooting shotguns and powers, kind of like some sci-fi alien powers. Definitely interested for Prey. And it's Arcane. It's the second Arcane studio here in America, and the one of the like creative directors or whatever that made Dishonored 2 Dishonored 1, I should say, pulled off of Dishonored 2 to come and make this game. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so you definitely know it has a lead that knows what he's doing, which is awesome.
Right.
Speaking of Arcane, the next thing up was Dishonored 2. I think the only negative of this whole showing was they had like these three pieces that kind of ran too long.
Yeah.
I think the first part of it where they were showing like you walking through the environment, but not as like in game. It was like you just like panning through the environment was really weird. I didn't need to see that.
Right.
Just cut to the stuff at the end that we really want to see. But Dishonored 2, man, does this game look beautiful. Like I've said before, I'm not super into the first Dishonored. I tried it, didn't like it. This game looks cool. I don't know if it's a buy for me, but for you guys, I know you guys are super excited for it. It was our game of the show if you haven't listened to the Gamecast yet. So the gameplay looked cool, in-engine stuff. Like I said, the sweeping shots were kind of... I didn't need that. It took too long. So yeah, Dishonored 2, what did it do for you guys?
This is easily my most anticipated game this year. It's kind of a sparse. It's kind of a sparse year from here on out for me. For what I'm interested in. Final Fantasy doesn't obviously do it. There's a lot of shooters, but that's obviously not huge for me either. So this is one that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, they did show probably too much, and it kind of went on for a little too long. But I liked everything I saw. So it was a plus and minus, I guess, there. But it looks sweet.
Yeah, also, with them showing too much, at no point did I really want to look away because I was still interested in seeing
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
So it was too much. I never felt the need to look at my phone or look away. Like, I still was intrigued by everything. That being said, this should have been less. Yeah, Dishonored 2, Jordan, did it rustle any jimmies?
It rustled my jimmies real good, man. I've been back playing Dishonored 1 since they showed that. Probably this is my most anticipated game of the year since Hellblade's probably not coming out this year. So, yeah, love Dishonored, love that world. Super excited to see they're going to be doing, like, comics and novels later on this year to expand that. I will agree that, yeah, like you said, it was 3 parts. It was, like, a environmental trailer, a gameplay demo, and then a trailer that had a mixture of kind of both of the two before it. And so, for everyone else, I was kind of like, oh, this is shitty, because no one probably wants to see Dishonored 2 this much unless you're me. So for you, I totally get that it was droning on too long, Jared, but for me, I was like, damn, this is perfect. This is how I want them to break this game wide open, because we hadn't seen gameplay yet.
Yeah.
So they showed, really cool environments. The trailer that they showed was great, and then the gameplay demo was really cool. Shout out to this new, not power, gadget, I guess they have in the game, where you can be in one place but at 2 points in time, and you could be going back and forth, so you could like kill a guard and then jump back in time, and then they have no idea where you are, stuff like that. So yeah, Dishonored, they're so great. Arcane is so great at innovating and giving you gameplay choices that feel like they matter as a player, giving you player agency, as they like to say in the industry. So super, super excited for what Arcane's got coming up, not just with Dishonored 2, but also with Prey.
So, kind of jumping off that, you mentioned like how they make your gameplay choices matter.
Yes.
Look at like, from what I've heard of Infamous Second Son, like there's like those morality choices, but it doesn't feel as significant.
Right.
I don't know. Whereas in like the first Dishonored, one thing I do remember was that the more people you kill, instead of bypassing or just knocking them out, the more of those exactly.
Yeah.
There's way more
the
rats.
Worse
the more
the
you
plague
do that.
gets. Yeah. And then it cleans
exactly,
up the
and the whole
city
city,
if you go vice versa.
Right, and you can just feel the city kind of deteriorating as you do that over and over. Like, that's a really cool way to, reinforce what you're doing, I guess.
The thing with this game is they didn't show any rats, but there was a lot of mosquitoes shown. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like, they kept showing
mosquitoes
those, like, weird,
confirmed.
Yeah, like they might be taking the same concept but with the mosquitoes or something. The cool thing too is this fills another void. Like there's a lot of games coming out this fall that fill the void of Assassin's Creed. If you're super into that, like the stealth part of Assassin's Creed, like I think Dishonored honestly is a more stealth experience if you want to make it that way.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing with Dishonored 2 is you can play however you want, and there are consequences for how you play it. At least in the first Dishonored, I assume they're going to keep that kind of thing up in Dishonored 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, though I'm not interested in buying this game. It'd be dumb of me to say that this wasn't a game that looks tremendous. It looks awesome.
So how come you just aren't interested in it at all, Jared?
So the first Dishonored, I played it, and it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know if there's anything specifically. It just doesn't do it for me. Like, the aesthetic's cool, but it's not a world that I feel like I can get involved in. The character doesn't seem very, very deep to me. The gameplay itself, like, it's something that I should, for all intents and purposes, like it. I just don't. I just it's for some reason it just doesn't work with me.
Yeah.
I don't really know how I can explain it. I've tried it. I've tried it, and it doesn't gel with me for some reason. So yeah, I really can't explain why exactly. It just when you play a game and it just doesn't feel right. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
To me. So after Dishonored 2, they came out and they were talking about how Bethesda and Doom specifically is known for freeware and stuff like that. So they basically talked about how the first level of Doom was going to be free. You can download it for the week of E3. By the time you're listening to this, it's over. But I thought that was a really cool announcement to let people get into that game. Dom and I have talked about how awesome and fun that game is. And to let people try at least the first level of it definitely gets you into the mold of, is this a game for me? How fun is this game? I think that was super smart of them. So on top of that, with the Dishonored 2 pre-ordering, if you pre-order, you got the definitive edition for current gen consoles. So if you digitally pre-order it, you get a code. If you physically order it, the code will come inside your physical copy.
Which I looked into this a little bit more. Apparently, this is like one of the worst remasters or ports like ever. Apparently, it was really bad.
Really?
I guess they pretty much just kind of ported it straight over. There's really no graphical improvements. Even the frame rate is still at 30. And then apparently they do some other weird things where they give you some like DLC like bonus items type of stuff, but they give it to you like right when you start, like tons of stuff, and it just ruins the balance a little bit apparently, which is weird. Like usually like a remaster is an easy thing to do. Like you're just adding content and making it a little bit pretty. Like it's hard to find complaints about them, right? But apparently this wasn't a great one.
Well, that's weird because like it seems to me like if it seems like it's an Xbox backwards compatible game that just got turned into a definitive edition or something. If there's no graphical improvements, it's weird.
It definitely does look better graphically, and a lot of people were having frame rate issues, but I haven't had any since I started playing it.
Not issues, but just it's only at 30, and it's an old game.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
put it on new hardware.
Even most games coming out these days are still at 30, so I wouldn't say that.
Well, most new games.
Yeah.
Like remasters are generally.
I don't know about that
put it
either.
At 60 because they can.
I don't know. Most remasters I play are usually at 30, but I think it looks better. I didn't have any like frame rate dips at least. And then the whole part about them giving you all those items, that was back even on the Game of the Year edition, where they do give you a lot of items, but I definitely don't think, I would disagree with people on the internet saying that it was it would imbalance the game or whatever, because everyone in the definitive edition got those bonuses, and I got them, and I still barely have any powers or any bone charms or anything. So
Okay, so it's not too bad then.
no, not at
It
all.
also depends on playstyle, I think, too, probably. 'Cause, like, the huge part of Dishonored seems like playstyle. Yeah, so next up, I didn't think this was going to be in the conference, but obviously they had to make an announcement. Elder Scrolls Online Dark Brotherhood. This is the check Twitter portion of the Bethesda conference for me.
Well, but that's already been on PC, right? They're just bringing that to consoles.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming to console, yeah. Elder Scrolls Online, man, it seems like such a waste of time, personally. They were trying to get into the MMO vein and stuff like that, and I understand why they wanted to do it, but this seems like another company chasing that Blizzard WoW thing.
It seems like they've
And,
made enough money off of it to keep doing expansions, though.
Yeah, but I don't... Man. I personally didn't care about it being at the conference. I understand why it was there, but it literally does nothing for me. It's not the Elder Scrolls I want to see, Yeah, it just really didn't do anything for me. Also, they talked about Bethesda VR. We mentioned the Fallout VR before, but they talked about Doom in VR, which is crazy to just think about. Fallout VR, and then they actually just had like a logo for Bethesda VR, so it seems like an area that they're wanting to tackle and get into VR, obviously. It's going to be interesting if there's any marriage between what Xbox plans to do with VR and PSVR, if some kind of exclusivity happens down the road. Yeah, were you guys surprised to see anything with VR at Bethesda, or was this expected considering this is part of the industry now?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
about time for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have expected this. I didn't, but yeah.
Yeah. So just really quick, we didn't see Evil Within 2, which was kind of weird. We got teases for Wolfenstein. For me, I assume that those are going to be their next big games that are coming out. Evil Within 2 and the new Colossus. They also, one thing I missed is the Doom DLC, the Unto the Evil that they announced.
Mm-hmm.
So Doom is
It's all
getting
multiplayer,
substantial
right?
DLC. No, it's not multiplayer. It's single player as well. There's
Okay.
Snap Map, single player, and multiplayer DLC. The Snap Map is going to be free. They're going to be having constant updates for that. And then the Unto the Evil comes with the Capture the Flag mode as well as some single player DLC. So it's cool that they're supporting a game that I think they were expecting to do pretty well, but I think it did way better critically than they anticipated or they had hoped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was awesome to get DLC. Jordan nailed it. That was one of his predictions he got right. It's weird we didn't see any new IPs. It's weird we didn't see Evil Within 2, but I definitely think they're playing the game of making sure every conference counts. So I'm fine with not seeing those if those get announced next year with the release date attached to them,
Yeah.
I can't get mad at them if I'm getting mad at Sony for doing what they would have done if they showed Evil Within 2 and all of these games that don't have release dates, so I can't be hypocritical about that. Yeah, what are you guys' takeaways for Bethesda? I thought it was a pretty good conference. Wasn't outstanding by any means. It wasn't bad. It was good. They had the best showmanship, I think. Their stage was brilliant.
Yep.
Their presentation was outstanding.
So one thing I think you missed, I could be wrong, was they're also doing a pretty big update for Fallout Shelter, the
Yeah.
mobile
I forgot
game.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think from what they showed and how they talked about it, it's a pretty significant change. Like you're actually able to send your vault dwellers out of the vault and go with them to different places and go on missions and things like that. But I played that game quite a bit. Because it's Fallout and it was a phone game, so I was going to no matter what, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun. It's okay. They embrace the fact that it's a phone game. They're not trying to do that Kingdom Hearts X or whatever kind of thing where they're trying to make it so similar to a console game.
It's literally in the fucking canon, you mean? That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. But, yeah, I just wanted to...
No, I was
point that
saying
out that
Kingdom Hearts is they're trying to make it part of the chronology, and
Yeah,
Fallout
you're
is
right. Bethesda does it right, is what Jordan was
yes,
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just wanted to point that out that they're still supporting this mobile game.
It's probably because they saw good sales on it with the microtransactions of the lunch boxes and
They made a
everything.
lot of money, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna have a second mobile game with ES Legends when it comes out, so they're smart. Hopefully, I think ES Legends is gonna be a very good game. Fallout Shelter I think was very well made, though some people got bored of it. Obviously,
Right.
This is how is Bethesda doing mobile games so right before even Nintendo? We've talked about that, Nintendo's games can be golden on mobile, and they just aren't taking advantage of it.
And Bethesda did these on their own. I'm sure they have made some new hires, but Nintendo partnered with, I can't remember the name of the...
DNA.
like a mobile game developer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they have no excuse.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like Bethesda's doing like some of the best conferences as far as like expectations and release dates. They're getting into VR like you're supposed to with this industry. They're getting into mobile. Like Bethesda's making a lot of the right moves. Plus, anytime that I could hear Todd Howard talk for more than 5 minutes, I'm down with. You know, I love Todd Howard. He's one of my role models. I look up to him a lot. He's a very smart guy. Yeah. So takeaways, I think Bethesda did good. Yeah. Did you guys already say your takeaways? Anything else you guys want to add to Bethesda?
My final thoughts would just be that I thought they were the second best after Microsoft conference. I thought they, like you said, Jared, had a really good presence and really good presentation. And, yeah, you could just tell they had their shit together. Like, they were hitting on all cylinders. Once again, something that they and Microsoft did that Sony did not do is something somewhere along the lines. They got every single piece that you needed to hit as like pieces or parts of that company that needed to be discussed were all fleshed out. So DLC for their big flagship title in Fallout, a remaster from their last big flagship title. You have mobile versions of the Elder Scrolls card game. You have an update to the mobile Fallout Shelter, and then you've got the online stuff, you know, Elder Scrolls Online and all that. So yeah, like I said, hitting on all cylinders, coming at us from every side, and this is exactly how you should be doing these conferences. This is how EA and Ubisoft and Sony need to be looking at Bethesda and Microsoft as examples in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Dom, any closing thoughts other than what you already said?
I'm right there with you. I think they hit on all their marks. And a couple things that we didn't see that we wanted, the Evil Within. I mean, I think you guys are right that stuff's just too far out, and they don't want to play that game of
that's not them
showing a tiny bit that early.
Well, and the one game that they did show a little bit, tiny bit, they did it the right way, a DOS thing where you see it, and it's something you see after the show of, wait, did you catch that?
Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah.
It's not here's an image of the title of the game, you know? It was a very smart way of doing that. So, yeah, Bethesda killed it. We all agree upon that. Yeah, so any closing words to say bye to the people?
Bye to the people.
Yeah, bye to the people.
Peace to my people.
Bethesda. Thank you for listening to our Bethesda.
Goodbye from the wonderful land of Bethesda.